Good morning, big family. As I was out here watering, I was just thinking I would love to know where all of this volunteer stuff came from. We have so much volunteer stuff out here, it's ridiculous. Like every day we find something new that just popped up out here and just volunteered itself to come up. And I know somebody had intentionally put it there at some point, but I'd love to know the story behind it of like, where did it come from? How did it get out here? And it's obviously still growing, it's still making seed, and it's still coming up every now and then, but it's like a treasure hunt every day. I'm finding volunteers everywhere. For example, I found some more lilies out here. That is a lily, that's a daylily, and it's like trying to bloom now. It's about to bloom. So I'm finding lilies everywhere. I know that these were once like garden beds, and the two previous owners, not the owners we bought it from, but the owners before that, she was an avid gardener and she had made a lot of garden beds out here. Obviously this was one of them. This used to be garden. I'm trying to picture it. But then I saw the sunflowers. It's some type of sunflower. I'm not sure, maybe a wild sunflower. I don't know, but I'm finding lots of random flowers popping up, and you can see them out there too. You can see the little sunflowers blooming out there. So I see all this color popping everywhere, and I see, flowers coming up, and I'm trying to identify them. And that is not wild, that's intentional. That's a crepe myrtle. So we have some sort of crepe myrtle in here. And I found over here, I wanted to show y'all one of my particular favorites. At some point, somebody had brought in honeysuckle. So there is honeysuckle in here. And my kids have been loving that, and they know exactly what that is and how to eat it and how to suck on it. I did as a kid. That was one of my favorite pastimes as a child, was honeysuckle. We got to suck on honeysuckle. There's also wild morning glory. Now that is wild. It's everywhere all over the South, but the morning glory is kind of invasive, but they're beautiful. The flowers are lovely. So we have all kind of stuff. This is a big patch of just like this wild sunflower, whatever this is. This wild sunflower is just all in here. So I have to assume at some point that somebody threw out seeds or intentionally planted sunflowers out here, and all these other things like the crepe myrtles and the daylilies. They didn't get here by accident. Someone had thrown them out here or planted them in a garden at one point, but now that we own the place, these are called volunteers because they just reseeded themselves and just volunteered themselves to grow. We didn't do this on purpose. These are just popping up wildly on their own. So we've got all these volunteer beautiful things that are just mysteries to us. We don't know the story behind it, but it's beautiful. I love having all the color and the flowers that I find in here. So you're gonna see me in the truck a lot today. I have a lot of running to do, a lot of errands to do. It's just gonna be one of those days. It's one of the family matters that the mama has to take care of, is the running and doing of the errands and the going of the places, while the hubby makes the money and earns the money to support our family and our homestead. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. So today on the agenda, I just got done at Walmart. I just got done picking up Mountain Dew for Wes, because we all know how he can't live without his Mountain Dew. And I had to get me a snack for the road. I got me a bag of my favorite white cheddar popcorn because I'm gonna need it. Because after going to the library and after picking up forms for our children to join band, just got done at the Thomasville High School picking up all the forms and the information that we need to fill out and return for our two older daughters to join the high school band, which is amazing. And I'm so grateful that they're able to do that. I'm not even going to tell you how much it cost. It was just like, it was in the hundreds of dollars, y'all, but it was very expensive, but very worth it. We discussed it, we talked about it as a family, and we feel like this is worth it. This is something that we want to prioritize and invest in. We feel like it's good enough to put forth this kind of effort and financial and time and energy and commitment. And the girls realize that it's a commitment. They would have to give up things that they may or may not want to go do on like a Friday night or weekend, because they're going to have to do band for football games during football season, and they've got to go to like band camp, and that's a sacrifice for them. That's a commitment and a dedication for them. But they're willing to do it because they feel like it's important for them and for their lives. They're willing to commit to it, so we're willing to commit to it. So we got the forms, we're going to pay the fee, we're going to do the commitment, and they're going to join high school band at the local high school. And that is a perk of homeschooling. That's one of the benefits of why we do this, because they get to have their schooling at home and they still get to participate in extracurricular activities that other public school kids are privileged to. They still get to join in and they still get to do all the fun stuff, but they get to have their education at home, and they still get to be schooled at home and live the, the home life and the flexibility of the schedule, and the doing their work in their pajamas, and like taking sick days or appointment days whenever I want to or whenever I need to, because that's the privilege that we have as a homeschooling family. And we still get to do any sports and band and extracurricular stuff that we want to. So there's always a way to make it work, and we have found a way to balance both. We found a way to balance their academic life with their social life. So far it has worked out beautifully for us. And this is the next step in what we're doing. We're in high school now with 2 of our kids. And one of them is finishing up her final year of high school. We're about to have an adult child, which is another journey. It's just another step in the process, another level to parenting that I'm about to experience that I've never experienced before. Exciting and scary, anxious and joyful, and all the things, all the feels and all the emotions. But I just got that paperwork, and I checked the post office box, and I went to the library, and I got Miles his dinosaur books. So he got his little snack and all of his dinosaur books, yeah. So he got some fun stories that he's going to be able to read in his spare time and learn all about dinosaurs. Because he came across a survival guide that taught him how to survive if you're ever attacked by this kind of dinosaur or that kind of dinosaur. It tells you that this is what you should do to survive the attack. He found that very interesting and very informative. I'm sure it's very helpful for his daily life of fighting imaginary dinosaurs. But he also found some very good informational books about dinosaurs that's going to tell him all about them and the way they live and their diet and their habits. And he's actually retaining that information. He's become very interested in dinosaurs lately. That's all he's about right now is dinosaurs. So we made our wonderful stop off at the new library, and that place is awesome. It's like a half museum, half library. Very cool. So we got all that done. I'm flying back home now so that we can go have a lunch. Me and Miles are going to eat a quick lunch. We always love lunchtime. Lunchtime is a good time around our house. So, and rest for a minute and like recoup and check in with the family. And then I'm headed right out again. Right after I take a lunch break of about 30 minutes, I'm headed right out again to Tuscaloosa. Like I said, running today. Because I have to go to an appointment with Avery. Avery has an appointment that we had to make kind of on an emergency basis. We had to call today and like get her in today. It was a quick thing. They had an opening today, thank goodness, for her orthodontics, because her braces, what is it? It's the middle wire on the back of her brackets, on the back part of her braces is loose. She's got a loose wire back there, and she says she feels it. It's wiggling and it's shaky back there, and it's not supposed to be. So they have to repair that wire or tighten up that wire. So when braces go wonky, you have to make we have to make the 2-hour drive all the way to Tuscaloosa to the orthodontist appointment to get them to fix whatever's going on in there. So thankfully that's all covered by the cost of braces. Whoop whoop. So we don't have to pay any like extra fee or anything. It's all covered by the cost of braces. So they're going to repair it, thank goodness. But that's a 2-hour drive there, and then the time it takes them to fix it, and then a 2-hour drive back home. So I might make it home by dinner time. I might make it home by evening. I had hopes to do more weed fabricking today, more garden work, and show y'all around at some more projects I was gonna work on and like get done what I can get done with my own 2 hands outside. I was gonna sweat a little bit in the heat, but some higher powers had some other plans. So Mama is on a mission today to get all the running done, all the errands and all the appointments done today, and make it back by dinner time. So here we go. So I'm back now from the orthodontist appointment that we had to make. Everything's good now. She's got her wire back on and they've straightened all that out. So everything's good. Nothing else needed. And then her next actual appointment will be in August. And that was a long trip, y'all. That was another long drive. Another 5 to 6 hours of my day taken up by an appointment. Just shot. And I want to talk to y'all a minute about that, kind of, in thinking about that, as I had plenty of time to think on my long drive. That was the main thing that I kept thinking about over and over in my mind, is that there are a lot of people who have kind of a misconception about homesteading families, and especially homesteading women, homesteading moms, that they seem to be under the impression that if you're going to homestead, or if you're going to have a farm or a homestead, then that automatically means that you're not part of the modern world, that you don't participate in the same activities that you currently do, that you would have to give up all that or something, that you'd have to like go off grid, and you'd have to your children can't be in sports or extracurricular activities all of a sudden, or you know, you can't ever travel, or you can't go to big cities or do big things like that. You're just, you know, just only homestead, you know, stuck in this little box that people seem to put us in that category in their mind, and that's just not true. All of that is just not true. And I know that's a thought that may just automatically jump to somebody's mind when they think homesteading mom or homesteading woman, but we live in a modern world. We're modern homesteaders, so it's not like the olden days. It's not like old times. Those times are dead and gone. It's the modern age now. So we have technology, we have working appliances, we have cell phones and computers. We have schedules. My husband has a job. You know, we have a life just like everybody else. Well, in that life also requires us to do things like appointments, and to go out of town every once in a while, or, you know, we have other responsibilities that lie outside of farming or animal husbandry or gardening. You know, sometimes the things in our life are just, they're going to occupy our time, and it will take away from the time that we get to spend doing what we love. Of course, we're always going to have this lifestyle. You know, homesteading is always going to be a part of our life that we do here. We're going to consider ourselves a homestead. I'm going to consider myself a homesteading woman and a homesteading mama for the rest of my born days, because that's just what I love. That is what I'm truly passionate about. That's what we love to do as a couple. So we're always going to have this, and we're always going to do this, but it is a part of our life. It's not all encompassing, the only thing that we do. It's not the only thing that we focus on. We have a lot more to our life than just that. There's many, many facets of our life. There's so many things that our children are involved in currently and going to be involved in. There's going to be grandchildren one day. There's things that we do for our parents and our other family members, extended family members. There's our church family. There's our church functions we're involved in. I mean, the list goes on, but I just wanted to clear that up for a second, that I just wanted to let people know that some days are like this. Some days are like, I don't touch anything in my garden. I just barely did some watering this morning, and that was it. Like, I said hello to my animals and my birds as I headed out to go to Tuscaloosa. So that's as good as it gets sometimes. We're not out there every single day, sometimes hands-on, eyes-on. You know, sometimes we don't get that luxury. Sometimes we're busy, or sometimes stuff comes up. It's the way of the modern world. You know, we have other things that we do and that we take care of outside of our actual, you know, love of our life, which is our homestead. Of course, you know, since we committed to this, since we have the responsibilities of the animals in the garden, you know, certain things, minimal, have to be done. You know, animals have to be fed and watered, minimum. I mean, period. Every day, point blank, the end. They have to be fed and watered every day. That just has to be done. So we make sure that is done. But that might be, some days, that might be all that gets done. You know, we may not have time to check on this one thing with this one animal that we needed to, or rotate them to a new area today like they needed to be. That may have to wait a few days. We may not be able to candle those eggs today. It may have to be put off for another day or two. You know, we may not be able to be on top of everything all the time, and that's okay. That's okay. Give yourself a little grace. People are busier today in the modern world than they probably ever were in the history of the world. We have a lot going on, a lot revolving around us all the time. We're constantly juggling, so give yourself some grace. If nobody died today, then it's a good day. It is a wonderful day. Nothing died, nobody died. Not even a plant died today. We're fine, we're good. And I am happy that I got that just 5 minutes of peace to go outside and water. What is Biscuit doing? Biscuit, what are you doing? What are you doing, baby girl? And I'm glad that I got to throw the ball a couple of times for my biscuit basket. Just a couple of times, threw the ball, just like twice. No, that's all I played with her today, so she's wanting my attention very badly today because I haven't given her the kind of attention that I usually do, the kind of attention she deserves. That's okay. I had to give my extra attention to my third daughter, to my youngest daughter that really needed me. I had to transfer that attention, and that's okay. Give yourself some mama grace there. Homesteading mama means I wear a lot of hats and I juggle a lot. I'm always moving, always going, always having to rearrange, reprioritize, you know. And like I said, there's a bare minimum. There's a bare minimum of, okay, I've committed to this and I have to take care of this every day. And this is the lifestyle I chose and I can't let this die or fall to crap. So I've got to make it work. Even if I'm extra busy or even if this came up, I still have to do my priorities, my bare minimum things that need to be tended to or checked on or fed and watered. I have to somehow work that in. I got to make that work. Even if I've got to work extra fast today to make sure it all happens, then that's what you have to do. But don't try to like kill yourself or tear yourself up if you can't get to everything all the time. There is literally no way to consistently maintain everything all the time. That's impossible. And don't let anybody ever tell you any different. That's impossible. That's a romantic notion and that's a nice dream. But in reality, the reality of modern homesteading, it ain't gonna happen. You're gonna have to not sweat the small stuff. You're gonna have to let the little stuff go. And if you have to have an appointment day where you're gone and running errands all day long, then that's just what it's gonna have to be. So I don't feel bad about today. I don't feel bad about being gone. And I'm back out here and the sun is not down yet. I made it back and it's maybe like, oh, I don't know, it's like 6 o'clock in the evening. Yeah, look at this. Biscuit, do it again. Do the roly again. No? Oh my goodness, she was rolling, y'all. She was rolling, literally like in the grass, just doing rolls, just barrel roll. She feels good today. It's okay. He's a happy girl. That's okay. But I don't feel bad about it. I am out here enjoying my evening time. Notice I'm hiding in the shade because over there on the other side of the house, it's still hot. It's still sunny. That sun is still beating down, even though, like I said, it is about 6 o'clock in the evening. It's getting toward dinner time and it's still hot. It stays hot until the sun all the way goes down at like 8:30 or some ridiculous hour, 8:30 and 9 o'clock, and then it'll finally not be sweltering out here anymore. And I am running through my mind. I'm running through all the things tomorrow that I'm gonna get back on, all the things I'm gonna tend to and hop to, and I got some things in my mind that I'm like, okay, this needs to be done tomorrow. I got to start this tomorrow. I got to finish this tomorrow. I got to keep going with this tomorrow. This needs to be done. This needs to be finished up this week. I got my list replaying in my head on replay. I get it, but I'm not stressed over it. I'm not stressing it. I'm giving myself a minute just to enjoy the birds here for a second. Look at the pretty flowers. Look at things. Enjoy this weave fabric that I'm currently sitting on that I actually put in yesterday. So that's a good thing. I'm enjoying the winds right now, and I'm watching over there. I'm watching the geese playing in their little pool and cleaning off and bathing, and they're so cute. So enjoy the things that you have worked hard for. Enjoy the things you have sweated over already, that you've put the time, the effort, the energy into, that you've checked on every day, and give yourself a little bit of a break from that, and give yourself like one day to just kind of like rest and appreciate, you know. That's my day today. I'm regrouping, I'm thinking, I'm resting my mind and my body, and I'm appreciating for a second, and then I can get on all of it tomorrow. Speaking of which, one of those things I'd really like to enjoy right now is one of these cherry tomatoes. Hey, biscuit. No, you can't have it. It's mine. No, you can't have it. I want to enjoy one of these cherry tomatoes and see what it tastes like and if it's any good. It's not bad. It didn't get as ripe or as sweet as I think it should have before it like started to split, and there's a lot of them that are like spotted that aren't going to be any good. I may as well go ahead and throw them off the plant. They're not going to be any good. But there's some like these that are pretty. I'm going to take these pretty ones inside, maybe put it on my salad. Those will be good, but a lot of them have split, and there's a lot of them that aren't doing so great, which is why I'm trying to grow the top of the plant. I'm trying to grow the indeterminate rest of the plant all the way up the cattle panel trellis here, so maybe it'll give me some more cherry tomatoes, so maybe I can enjoy all the way come to fruition, like fully ripened, beautiful, dark red, sweet cherry tomatoes. I want that experience before the season is over. So I realize this is not like a normal video, and I realize this isn't the usual for me, and usually I'd be out there, you know, showing you all the things and all the pretty animals and the things I've done today in the garden, and just kind of showing you things that happen around the homestead as I would be working out there in the homestead. So I realize this is unusual, but that's just kind of what it was today. So I'm going to enjoy my loungy time on the couch watching TV for a little bit. Wes is in there making breakfast dinner for us. It is almost dinner time, and then about an hour after that, it'll be time to shut everything down and have our tea time and our woosah time and plan tomorrow and plan the rest of our weekend and everything ahead of us. So that was kind of it for today, guys. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Signing off.